Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Bharat Knights. Next version, the next topic for this month is how easy was it to complete your task today? How easy was it for you to reach our customer service? So that's our topic. I know it's a bit long for a topic, but it's very important that we come across this point and then just see where we are and how we are able to do it, because most of us, almost all of us, go through this experience one way or other with a lot of different things that we consume and so we service. So let me introduce the topic a little bit, and then jump on to introduce our panelist here, and then we go over the topic, right? So in an era where customers expect everything to be instantly and intuitively available, ease is no longer just a nice to have, it's a key driver of satisfaction and loyalty. Two key moments define how a customer feels about your brand: when they are trying to complete a task and when they are seeking help. If either one feels like a hard work, the damage is already done, right? But let me go over one more point. The panel aims to explore the real meaning of ease in customer experience. How do you measure it? How do you improve it? And more importantly, how do your customer perceive it? I'll just give you an example, right? So years ago, when online, marketplace coming into place, and so the trust was not there, right? Nobody even knew what to do, right? When you buy something, what if you don't like it? So it's not, there's no store. You don't know how to go talk to somebody, and how do you interact with them, and what if they are not responding to your question? There are a lot of legitimate questions around it, and then how we have come across a lot of different experience, right, over the years, and we have come a long way, right? So for example, Amazon in that way, so made a big difference in terms of how to take away the fear from the customer. When you buy something, if you don't like it, you can just return, no questions asked. And so that takes away a lot of uncomfortable feeling or the dilemma in the customer, right? So when they are making that purchase, the decision for the purchase, right? Just to give you an idea. So how easy it is, right? You make it no friction, right? When they are coming to do something, there is no friction in it, right? So make it easier, right? So that's the essence of the topic. So without the further ado, let me go ahead and introduce our four great panelists here, who are really um, helpful in helping us to understand this topic. And so let me introduce them. Shreya Ganguly. Shreya is a customer relationship specialist. Previously, she was a part of the customer experience teams at Wellspun, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra, HDFC, and Shriram Housing Finance. Her expertise includes customer service, change management, project management, strategic planning, negotiation, and team building. She has led cross-functional initiatives that enhanced employee experience and generated 100 crores in revenue through workforce productivity solutions. We are happy to have you with us today, Shreya. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
Sure. So next, we are inviting Nikhil Godbole. Nikhil has over 20 years of experience in building high-impact customer service organizations that scale, perform, and delight across the fintech and travel tech domains. He has had customer experience stints with EXL Service, Infosys, BPO, and Cleartrip and Jupiter Money. He believes in transforming customer support into an organization's growth engine, and he has various accolades that throughout his career. We are happy to have you with us, Nikhil. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you.
So next panelist is Soumitra Charaboti. Soumitra currently functions as AGM operations of Egos Aviation. Prior to this, he has held stints with Aircel, MTS Group, Domino's, Inox Leisure, Suleika Fusion BPO Services, and Hansa Direct. He has over 17 years of experience in setting up high performing operations teams and scaling operations to support large scale performance. His expertise includes customer lifecycle management, customer engagement, customer success, workforce management, and strategy formulation and execution. We are keen to hear your views today, Samitra. We welcome you to this discussion.
Thank you very much.
And last but not the least, Abhishek Luthra. Abhishek, an alumni of IAM Calcutta, is a founder of Kaima Asset. His expertise encompasses the entire investment advisory process. Prior to founding Kaima, he had stints with Aditya Birla Finance, Axis Bank, Kotak Life. He is a personal finance professional, financial literacy coach, orator, a poet, writer, and investor. We are glad to have you here, Abhishek. We look forward to hearing from you on your customer service from founder's perspective.
Thank you.
So now let me introduce one more time. The topic is how easy was it to complete your task today? How easy was it for you to reach our customer service? This is the topic. So let's go over the discussion points, and then the first discussion point goes to Nicole. So feel free for others want to jump in and give your opinion. Please feel free to do it. It's an open forum, right? So Nicole, here is the discussion point. Many CX teams rely on metrics like CSAT or NPS, but these often come after the fact. Are we missing like the subtle signals of struggle earlier in the journey? Can you share how you uncovered unexpected friction points in your customer experience?
Sure. In fact, as a customer experience head, the first thing which we keep asking ourselves is the fact that the customer had to reach out to us itself is a bad experience. Why was the need, right? I mean, like, of course, post facto, there are CSAT, NPS, as you rightly mentioned, but why is the main question? Why did you have to even reach out to us? What is it that was not available on the app? I'll speak more on the app side because it's a digital bank which I'll be referring to. So, what is it that was not available for him to actually seek help, because of which he had to proceed with seeking customer service? Now, that is something which keeps coming out of the data which we get based on their categorization once they already reach. Of course, this cannot be built on day one. Of course, it's a product journey, right? And then we realize that, okay, these are the things which are coming up as issues. Now, what is it that if the issue needs to be converted as a feature in the app itself where it can be addressed? Simple example is like ordering a checkbook in the banking vertical. Now, why does it have to be a customer support query? Why can't we just give a button that I need a checkbook? And all the pricing related to it can be addressed over there. It's not a major coding or something like that. Now, if we keep going on that front, I mean, like CSAT, NPS, these are all output, I would say, but the input is the query itself. Why did the query come? So that's how we usually address. And I'm sure a lot of people agree to this that, okay, no customer service is best customer service, but of course, no queries is also a question mark sometimes. So that is where my thought process is.
Sure. When you're talking about the checkbook, right? So there's a thought crossed my mind. Right now we have grown technology, and so we have come so far. Now we should be able to identify how many checks have been used by the customer out of the leaf that we have provided, and then automatically order one, or or ask them, hey, what is your preference for the next one? What kind of check you need? You want to, like in the US, we print so many different images in the check, right? Like a dog or cat, or some of pictures and things like that. So you know so like you what you said is right. Like you don't even have to ask a customer to come and raise a query. That itself is not a good experience. So
Yeah. In fact, there's a funny incident around checkbook. If we have time, I can actually talk about
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
And I keep bringing this topic in most of my panel discussions over
Yeah.
voice of customer. And so this checkbook, right? I mean, like we always wonder that people order checkbooks to write checks, which is no longer the case. People order checks to submit digitally signed cancel check. I mean, the cancel check.
Yeah.
Because in India, nobody believes you when you give them the bank account. They want cancelled check copy. So that was a funny thing which we observed in our voice of customer, that why are people, I mean, like ordering checkbooks in the world of NEFT, RTGS, UPI? And we were always wondering that who writes checks? I mean, like personally, I think everybody in the panel, I don't remember anybody writing checks. Of course, Mr. Luthra would be, because he is into a lot of money management, but otherwise, who writes checks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that actually came, and that also converted into that. Okay, why do people don't give them checkbooks? Give them a cancelled digital copy of a check, and that worked.
Yeah.
So
I'll
that
add
also helps.
a real-time scenario into this topic. What happened in real time, because for example, I ordered a check, I received the check and I forgot where I kept. And when the time I need to give it to the cancel check, I have to reorder it because I already have
Exactly.
that check, but I actually forgot it where I kept it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
this is the real-time scenario which actually happens to us.
Yeah. 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 Can. Yeah. Yeah. So it's very interesting, right? So people are ordering it, but then the purpose of ordering it is entirely different.
It's very different. It's very
Very,
different.
very
And
different.
and this we didn't understand just by looking at the data. We had to talk to customers to
Yeah.
understand what is the need of a checkbook in today's world.
Yeah.
So then it was like an eye opener for us, and we went back. I mean, like spoke to RBI, took approvals, because you can't just, I mean, create an image of a check, right? Everything has to match. We got it rejected almost twice because of the color combination. And then finally they agreed, and then it was a feature, and it became a superb feature. From a 200 requests on a daily basis, it came down to 15 actual valid checkbook requests. Rest everybody only wanted cancel check.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
I would like
Absolutely.
to add one more scenario, if I may, if
Yeah.
it is allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, related to the banking. It's my
Yeah.
experience that today in today's date, banks came up with their application where a mobile banking and an ease banking has been introduced. In many private banks, there are many private banks which in a tip of finger you can do anything. Right. I don't remember when I last visited my bank. I do everything on my mobile. But there are some government banks, I'll not name that, but there are some government bank. To install that application, you need to visit bank.
Yes.
So that is the difference. All right. There is a very renowned government bank. Everybody might guess that bank. To itself install that application to get logged in, you need to go to the bank and get into the queue.
Yeah. Very
All
true.
right. So
As
that
much as I
that
sympathize, I also empathize. We all know who we are referring to.
Yes. So that is the experience talking about, right? We
Yeah.
are installing app to make our job easy, but it's actually headache that we need
There
to
is an
go to the bank to install that. Yes.
authorization step required, for which
Yes.
so even to use the application, you need to be physically present to figure out the KYC. So those are the norms.
Yes.
I would actually thank all these banks, because of which we actually existed and exist as a digital bank. So I'm
Yeah. True.
utterly
Yeah.
thankful for
Yeah.
all these banks.
There are situations where, like, if you want to reset your password or later change password, they sometimes they may ask you to go to a branch and do it. You can, like, I don't know the situation now, but yeah, there were some instances, like, where, like, especially if you're operating a bank from overseas, you are more stressed in the sense, like, what if you're locked out? What if you had to change the password, and if you can't, because you have to go to a branch. There are no branches there. Like, so, like, then how do you operate it? So yeah, there were situations like that. Yeah, I think we have come across a long way. So yeah.
Things
So
will change surely
yeah,
and gradually.
yeah,
They will change, and I know, we all know that which bank Mr. Chakraborty is referring to, and they are very well aware of this problem. Let me say that because I was going through their current openings and the requirements that they have specifically written over there, as in the eligibility criteria is circling around these facts. and they are now looking for people who can actually solve these concerns. Now, the problem I'll tell you with bank is it's a different, now I'm shifting to a different tangent. It is not related to customer service. See, people in banks, especially, they do not have the threat of, somebody letting them go off or laying them off. People are generally secured and they are tenured people who are not pretty much tech savvy. So that is the reason why we are not seeing any improvement, so to say, in which, vis-a-vis we are seeing in different industries in today's day and age. Because if they are not, adapting those changes, they will suffer. But bank still doesn't work in that mindset. Private does, public doesn't, and that's the sad part to it. But having said that, yeah, slowly and gradually things are changing, because I have been actively involved. Half of my career has been in this. I mean, I have spent half of my career in this process, so I know things will shape up. In next 5 years, we'll see tremendous amount of change in the operational activities of public sector banks. That is there for sure.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Okay. Okay, so moving on to the second discussion point, Shia, this one is for you. Yeah, we often talk about creating delight, like surprise upgrades, emotional storytelling, and personalized messages. In this pursuit, are we overlooking the basic need for simplicity and effortlessness? How do you, sorry, I'm still not done. How do you balance moments of delight with the invisible power of removing friction, which has, had more measurable impact in your experience?
Right. So when we say removing friction, I would simplify it as an ease versus delight. If that is the point that you are referring to, right, Uttaman?
Yeah.
Right. So the way I see it is that ease, it isn't the opposite of delight. It's rather the foundation. That's how I see it. So my say or my take on this would be that before chasing the wow moments, I mean, when we talk about delight, we are actually talking about the wow moments of the customers. So before we chase the wow moments, we need to understand that are we making the basic tasks of the customers easy and seamless? That is
Yes.
something that organization needs to focus on. It's as simple as a thing, while interacting with a lot of founders of startups these days, what I do understand or realize is the fact that, in the quest of acquiring something big or proving themselves in the market, they are missing on the small little things which could actually make the real difference. So
Yeah.
my say over here would be that, we should rather focus on making the basic things for customers seamless, because once you do that, the customer will not struggle to update their a small basic thing. Let's say, since we were talking about the banking industry, I would talk about updating your KYC address. So if you are making the task of updating the KYC of a customer a very simple thing, go around for 10 freaking days, then that customer will not be delighted if on the other hand you are sending him auto emailers on his birthdays or anniversaries. So that's how I see it. It's more like focusing on the easy things that could make customers life easy, and that is what all the organizations should be aiming for, is what I feel, even till today.
Very good example, actually, right? Because making his life easier, that should be the core focus, right? So yeah, sending a birthday wishes is really nice, but that is that's not something that's making his life easier, right? So what customers are looking is if I am consuming a service, if I am looking at a service, is it making it any easier, any better, right? That's a that should be the core focus. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anyone else want to add anything, or okay? So thanks, Shia, for that. And then Abhishek, so we'll go to you. Not every organization can promise a human agent within 30 seconds, but customers still expect to feel heard. What tactics have you used to make support feel reachable even if the solution takes a little time?
I think the most important thing here is whenever a customer tries to reach out to you, uh, first response is very, very important. And the kind of response you deliver, the quality of that response matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, you need to have a very, very strong and well-trained backend. So suppose, for an example, if a customer comes to me and they just drop in an email or a WhatsApp message on my device that, Abhishek, this is the problem I'm facing. So the person receiving that complaint or receiving that message or email should be aware a little about what is actually happening. Though we know the process that this is the way we will start, this is the process we need to follow, and it'll take maybe a couple of hours or a day or two. The first response and a very, very confident response is very, very important. So your first response has to be very, very confident and should come with a rationale that, okay, this is the problem. I get it. And this is the way we need to address it. And that is the actual moment when your customer feels pacified.
Okay.
So when they have that feeler that they are being heard, they are ready to give you the time. If they feel that they are not being heard, then in that moment they'll become a little anxious, or they'll go aggressive with their complaint to raise it to the higher ups or raise it to the authorities or the regulator or whatever it is. So they should feel heard immediately in first response, and then you can buy more time to work on that complaint if it is really critical and it'll take time. But most of the time, I feel the complaints are not that complex, and it's just like a work of few moments, like maybe couple of minutes or maybe half an hour. And then the second response is very, very important. So there could be two types of second line responses. One, yes, we are working on your complaint and it will take this much of time. And this is the process we are following, and these are the steps involved. Second, we have resolved your complaint. Try it again. If you are not able to go through the app or you're not able to make the order online, just try it again. And if you again face that kind of problem, come back to us. So I think in the second response, 90% of the work is done.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever remaining 10% is the actual complaint.
Okay. Yeah. So your thought process there is like, going there, being there as a first response, like, be more clear and like, more expressive, like, yeah. So
Yeah,
it
it's
makes,
an
yeah,
like you take an example of 911.
yeah.
So whenever you call 911 that there is some problem or some fire has broke out, what they'll say? They'll listen to you. Are you alone or you are with someone? Confirm your address,
Mm-hmm.
right? They'll not ask about the cause of the fire. They'll not get into the details. They'll just take the very brief information that are you alone or there are people around and your location. And third point, they'll just say, we are on the way, be there. So that gives you the confidence. They will never mention that it'll take 1 hour to reach you or 30 minutes to reach you. That's the second line of action and the second line of discussion.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, the cause of the fire or like, those details like, comes in very late, not that time. And like, are you safe? Like, are there any place where you can like, move out to be safe? And
Yes.
that's a critical part at that point. Yeah, yeah, very true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, anyone wants to add anything?
Yeah, I would just like to mention one thing. I mean, this is just a message because we are having audience from different industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is this line which I find very interesting. It's not my lining. I'm quoting somebody. He's an unknown personality, so I'm not taking his name. But the line goes like this: that AI is a defense as well as an offense. So please focus on the part where I'm mentioning offense. Now, why I'm saying this is because, as Mr. Luthra rightly said, that the initial conversation is the ice-breaking moment between the organization and the customers. That moment has to be an empathetic moment. Now, why I'm mentioning this is because most of the organization these days, and you take any industry, what would be the first point of contact for the customers? That would be a chat box. That would be an automated machine. And that machine is unable to cater to the requirement and need of the customer. So what I feel is that, the organizations should rather focus. I mean, AI is the thing, everybody knows it. But I feel that the initial point of touch for the customers should be an agent, is what I feel, because that's where the relationship building between the customer and the organization will happen. Yeah, obviously AI makes your tasks easy. You can definitely deploy the machines in different aspects, but I feel for new customers especially, uh, organizations should focus on having agents rather than removing them, is what I feel. Because recently, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of the CRM platform called Salesforce, very well-known platform globally.
Yeah.
A recent news circulated that they have replaced 4,000 customer service personnels, and they have replaced them with AI. I know a company of such a huge stature would definitely take a thoughtful decision. But if you ask me, I feel that AI cannot replace certain things. I mean, no matter how well you train your AI, no matter whatever workflows you design, you will not be able to build in the empathetic touch. And when I interact with a lot of people, I know I'm young. I consider myself young, but I'm talking about more younger people, say like the college goings. So when I interact with them, they say that, customer service has no future because AI has already replaced it. Now I say that no, it hasn't. The thing is that it hasn't. Right now, they are in the experimenting stage, but once they, there are a few organizations who are actually coming up these days and saying that, the empathetic touch cannot be replaced by AI. So that is something that, all of us needs to focus on, especially the
I
new
agree.
organizations.
Yeah.
So I feel that, the initial point of contact should always be the agent, and then we can deploy AI accordingly. This is the message that I wanted to give out to the audience over here.
Very, very interesting thought, actually. So you are actually, what you are proposing is quite opposite to what these companies are trying to do, right? Because they are trying to introduce AI and bots as a first level of defense, and then agent, right? So yeah, okay.
So I would like to add one very good experience like Shreya has just mentioned. So empathetic touch has to be there whenever we talk about customer service and especially the first point of contact. So I called Amex around, it was, if I'm correct, it was 8th or 9th of May this year when this Operation Sindoor happened. And to my surprise, that agent online on the other side from Amex, he just checked my address and it was from Chandigarh. He said, "Oh, you belong to that place. I hope everything is fine with you. Your family is safe." So he was aware that what is going on in our region,
Yeah,
and we were under threat at that time. So
yeah,
that can never be replaced by AI, come what may.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Similar thing happened during COVID days. Wherever you were calling to the banking customer care and card services, everyone was asking about if you are doing good, if your family is keeping well, hope you're not got stuck with COVID and all. So that cannot be replaced, I think.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. Even if it does, the empathy factor still would be missing, right? Not to that level what agent or someone will be able to convey that, right? So
No, the AI will take, I think, at least 2, 3 days to process this information that Operation Sindoor is going on.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
I just have a bit of different point over here. I mean, of course, sticking to the question at hand, actually, what would the tactic be if you're not able to answer somebody in 30 seconds, right? This is where AI can actually make a lot of difference because you know that because of high volumes, you can't answer him in 30 seconds and it's impossible for you to call back immediately.
yes,
Now, solutions are available in the market. I'm sure Uttaman has one solution from his end as well, wherein in the IVR itself that you take all the information and you ask him, okay, we will not be able to service you right now, but we will get back to you in your stipulated time. And so the customer also understands that, okay, it's not that they don't want to answer my call. They can't, and there is a genuine reason. Of course, the Sindur can actually be embedded in AI that, okay, because of the high volume, depending on this, industry you're working, this is the reason for the high volume. And automatically, without any human intervention, we can actually bring this to a very different level altogether. So,
Yeah,
So
yeah, very true.
I'll add an example for this where customer can be reached within 30 seconds and with a human touch. The great example is the Amazon customer support,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
In Amazon, you don't need to call that toll-free number. There is an option in the app, request a call back or get a call back. You just click that tab and you will get an immediate call back from the customer experience team. So this is a
They are on
reverse
hold.
thing where you are not calling to the customer experience, they are calling to you according to your time and your preference and with the real-time assistance. So this is, I
And
think, a
still, no
great
one is doing
experience.
this apart from Amazon. No one is.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So I think in this scenario, both the issue has been solved. So AI use of AI is not there, plus human touch is also there, and within 30 seconds also we are reaching to the customers. So you are just keeping your phone in hand. You just click that button, you are getting call. Right.
You have to
So
have those deep pockets to service this guy.
yes.
Plus, the example what you have just mentioned is right. So now you have turned one of your biggest problem into one of your biggest advantage, right? So
Yes.
and during this process, you have reduced the friction, right? Because what is your friction as a customer? Oh, I had a call. I had to call the customer service, and I don't know how much time I have to spend. Literally, we all go through this mindset, right?
Yeah.
This is definitely solving that exact concern, and then making you feel good about it, right? So yeah.
Also, we need to understand that who are our customers base. Why the reason why I say is that the first point of contact should be an agent is because today everybody has a smartphone in their hand. The
Yeah.
moment you go wrong anywhere, within the next 5 minutes, you will see your company being tagged on social media. So that's
Yeah.
the power which the customer has today, and rightly so. I believe in empowering the customers. I am a complete advocate to that. So that is the reason why I feel that there should always be, people are still there. There are articles I keep on reading wherein many huge seasoned organizations are trying to explore how we can build in empathy within AI. But that is something I personally feel that it will take ages for them to come up with something that could make an AI empathetic and uh, help customers hear what they actually want to hear. That's what I feel.
True. Very
And
true.
as a customer experience specialist, I have been working with different, brands. And there are certain, exercises which you can perform in the team. For example, the best way is to apply lean method, right? Which is, known as, you must have known about the lean method. So you can simply remove the, non-essential waste from the product and minimize the essential waste in the process. Do a gimbal walk means do a process mapping or do uh, you know identify the where you can reduce the waste, where you can increase the efficiency of your customer experience team. So applying lean can be important key role or a simplest method where if I put the AI in a different uh, plate, so a human process can be enhanced applying
Yeah.
lean method.
Yeah.
Absolutely. These days, that's why, earlier it wasn't so, 6 years, 7 years down the line, they were not seeking for professionals in customer experience who must be having knowledge of project management or Six Sigma. But right now they are focusing on candidates with those skill set. So, as you have rightly pointed out, that is the only method that we have in hand to deal with the customer base today, what we are dealing with. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. We have discussed quite a few points, all good ones. So different perspective. Okay. Moving on to the next one, the fourth discussion point. So Mitra, it's for you. Traditional support kicks in only when a customer raises a hand. But what if we could anticipate the problem and solve it before the ticket is even raised? Have you implemented proactive measures that significantly reduced your inbound volumes of inbound volumes or improved customer confidence?
Fortunately, you asked my favorite question. I don't know how it how it come, because I was expecting this question and you asked it. Okay, I'll answer this with a case study. Right. So I was taking care of an leading automobile brand. It's an
Okay.
Indian brand, right? When I have taken over the entire customer experience team, and I have gone into the process and take the ownership, done a deep down, I found that there is a lots of gap between the data, right? So when you are trying to establish a great customer experience for a customer, so before that, you need to empower or you need to scale up your internal customers first. Who are our internal customers? That is a team who is handling the customer, the contact point where the customer is really interacting with your team because they are carrying your brand image. So what was happening? Suppose a customer is buying a car from a showroom, right? He's buying and now he have bought the entire car, but when he is calling to a contact center, none of his detail is available in the contact center. The contact center doesn't know that from where he bought a car, which model he bought, which date he bought, what was the dealership, and entire data was missing. So that was the first point where I cannot simply blame my team that they are not giving the experience because they don't have any tool to give the customer experience. The first hand I resolved that problem. I integrated Salesforce as mentioned by Shreya a few minutes back. So I integrated the dealer's data with the Salesforce data and integrated the entire data. That is number one, my point, that it's important that how well you know
Yes.
your customer sentiments, your customer needs, your customer behavior, your customer purchasing behavior, and these all are data centric things. The well you will know your customer, the more you can serve your customer better. So the foundation work is first know your customer first, number one. And that will only create the proactiveness,
Yeah.
right? After that, what was happening when a customer calls us and my team was having the entire data. Yes, sir, you have purchased the X car from X date from X showroom, and that provides a delight factor in that. Number two, I was a second case study, right, where I was experiencing around 30% of the call volume, which is repeated customers. The
Mm.
same customer is calling me again and again for the same issue, and this was a big iceberg for me. Then we have integrated a proactive ticketing system information where if there is any ticket raised for a particular customer for a particular issue, and before the tag goes around or anything, we are giving the proactive information through WhatsApp and through a call where the customer is proactively knowing that what is happening on my ticket in the backend. If it is taking time also, it was a BFSI process, and usually in that industry, it takes time for certain approvals. For there are certain hierarchies, and it takes times. So
Yeah.
most of the ticket goes out of the TAT, and where the customer gets frustrated and they used to call and call back again, and it increased the our call volume, which impact the entire SLA, entire performance of the contact center piece. So after implementing that automated ticketing system where the customer is proactively getting that information, yes, somebody is working on my ticket, company is on my ticket, my call volume has reduced to 20% immediately. and which impacts the other customer who were genuinely waiting on the call, and which increase my SLAs from the other customer,
Yeah.
right? However, I'll also give an example, a real case example of few, not in many years back, I bought one mobile, and the brand name was STC. I hope everyone was aware of that. And there is a very classic example. I was staying in Kolkata, and surprisingly, entire eastern region there was one service center, and that is in Kolkata. So here in this case, I found that product was very good, right? STC product was very good, but for a simple issue, you need to wait for 8 days to get it resolved, and your mobile is with the service center. And in this digital era, you cannot live without mobile. So now, as a result, you have seen that brand is vanished because of the service. So how good is your product? It doesn't matter. How you deliver that experience isn't matter.
Yeah.
Now I will give a last case study, which is also very interesting, and that is in this case study, the product was very good. The product is awesome, and people like the product. But the customer segment, the type of customer have a and that is KTM bike, right? Now KTM bike, the product is awesome, everybody likes that bike, but nowadays I have been studying that due to the customer segment, nobody is buying that bike, because in India everybody used to say wo chabri bike hai. The type of customer using that bike have defamed that product in the market. Now another opposite of case study is Royal Enfield. Enfield doesn't do the ad of the bikes, they sell community. Right. Buying a Royal Enfield isn't community. You are adding into a community. I am confident that you have not seen anyone riding a rash driving with a Royal Enfield. They are very sophisticated customers. So these are some certain live example where customers are making the brand, and customers are doing the brand value into a win, and
Yeah.
where proactiveness involved as
Yeah.
a brand manager.
Yeah. As you mentioned, yeah, it works in a different ways, yeah, for different industries. So, also, the being a giving a first response, right? Being a like be able to connect with the customer and directly go back and talk about the problem. So the Amazon example, right? Once again, solve this problem, right? How it solves is, imagine if I call Amazon, right? Obviously, what agent has to do is to identify me and
Yeah.
see who I am, right? Ask those questions, and
Yeah.
then go ahead and then ask why I am calling, right?
Yeah.
So, by the time, it can be at least 7, 8 minutes are gone, right? And
No, here what is happening now? If you will try to connect to the Amazon customer experience team, first you need to go to your order history. Then you need to select your problem.
yeah,
Then they are allowing you to connect to the
yeah,
customer
that's
experience.
all.
That means when you are connecting with the customer experience team, they already know why you are calling.
Yeah,
Unless and until you are selecting the proper
yes,
drop down in the app.
yes.
Right.
That's where
So, yeah,
that's where I'm going. So here they're making you to select it, and then when you get a call, he talks right on that point, right? Hey,
exactly.
purchase you made, and probably you did not receive this shipment. Maybe this is the reason you did not receive it. Like
Exactly.
they shipped it, but then it got misplaced somewhere. So we have to
Exactly.
reorder it for you. We'll give you a refund, right? Things like that.
Correct.
So, so instead of the problem, now you are delighting the customer, right? So, and probably not much of a AI needed in this case, right? So, like a simple solution, and and it works. So, yeah,
Correct. Correct.
absolutely.
And also one thing that the foundation in the foundation work, training is very important part. Whenever you are leading a team, I think that I always focus on two departments first, that is hiring and training. To get the right person on the job, that is very important. And second, you are carrying one thought process that yes, I will run my customer experience team like this. to deliver to copy that thought process and paste it into your team mind is very important.
Yeah.
So that training, I have seen many unwanted questions being asked in the call, right? Because there are many brands, there are many things, there are many experiences whenever you call a contact center, any unwanted questions they ask. So if that is a waste, that is where a lean apply, right? So we need to identify where the waste is. And when you will remove all that waste from the process, your process will get much simplified, which will help in both the ways. It will empower your agent also to deliver the best, and it will empower your customer also to get the best.
Yeah. Right.
So basically, we need to ask this to ourselves that what exactly is the KPI that we are focusing on? Is it the
Yeah.
resolution time or is it the emotional recovery? My
Yeah.
say
Yes.
is that it should be the emotional recovery that we should be focusing on
A-
if we want that customer base to be strong and if we want to create that brand which Ratan
Yes.
Tata has created for himself. I mean, a great
Yes.
example, so to say.
And Shreya, adding to your point, one very live scenario, right? We do a quality checks in entire customer experience team. QA is sitting, listening the call, and they have a parameters. They are taking mark and giving the ratings. I have seen 90%. In a call, their QA have rated 90%. When I have heard that call, it is not a great experience. So what is happening? What is happening? The agent might have given the right information. He have approached the actual protocol which he need to be followed, but the hearing experience, the experience which he is talking about, that is not measurable, that is not measured in the any of the quality program, and which is very basics, and which I always focus on that. Giving information correct, when you are going into a restaurant, you are getting a water, that's by default.
Yeah.
You will get it, but getting a quality of food, that how that waiter gives you that food, is very important.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And absolutely true. This comes out from the mindset of, that's how it has always been. If you talk to people and, do an RCA, you will understand that the core mindset behind the agents or the personals who are driving these things is that, that's how it has always been. So there is no out of the box thinking to normalize the situation is what I feel.
And I will give responsible for this a leadership team. It's a failure of a leadership team who have not coach there down the lines. So they are freshers, somebody are new, they don't know about all these things. It's a responsible of a leadership team, and it's a responsible for leader like us to train our leadership team. So
Yeah.
it goes down the line.
Absolutely. I agree. Okay. So now let's move to the fifth discussion point. So this is for all of you. So feel free. Okay. So here's the point. Creating a frictionless experience cuts across functions from product design to operations to customer service. But in your organization, who owns the mandate for making things easier? How do you break silos and ensure that insights from one team inform how other teams design or communicate the experience?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give an very live scenario where in this case also. Oftenly we see a downtime in banking services, right? So sometime it is some services are down, second services down, and there is no proactive information to the customer, resulting that there is a productive and tech team who is working and who have decided about the downtime. But due to poor communication, that communication has not been going to the last mile, that is a customer. And as a result, the entire customer is shifted to the customer experience team. Suddenly, there is a huge volume of calls, a huge volume of emails, huge complaints raising up just because of a proactive information. If the team would have been given a proactive information that there will be a downtime and there is something going on in a technical thing, the customer will know that yes, it's a genuine thing and I don't need to call up the customer experience. So these are something co-related or interfunctional related things.
Passivity is very important, you mean to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cohesivity between the team and the person.
Yes, cross-function collaboration, a
Cross-function
very a
collaboration.
fancy word nowadays in
Cross-function collaboration.
in our JDs. It's a very common word now, cross-function collaboration. All right.
It's very, very important because
Yeah,
if you do not understand what the other person is facing,
yeah.
maybe on the sales side, on the advisory side, or on the product side, or whosoever is making a product.
Yeah.
So I think it has been more than 7, 8 years. IT companies are getting engaged with the ex-bankers and banking personnel to develop the softwares where actually they do not need any banker to do anything. What they have been doing and the kind of inputs they have been providing to the IT team, IT company like Accenture or IBM or the likes of that, is just this thing, what customer is looking out for,
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
what he wants. And that is the way you design it. And if you
Yeah.
design in a correct and the desired way, of course, you will make the customer experience very, very delightful. And this experience only will bring him back. So whenever we say the operations or the customer service or the total backbone of the operation has been the backbone of the company, it's like not a matter of discussion at all. But whenever we say that this customer service or whatever you call operations or the back end of any company, uh, it has to be in a way to make the customer experience delightful. That will only bring company more business. You cannot keep selling your product. You cannot keep selling iPhones. Today, yesterday evening, of course, Apple has launched another iPhone. And you see, go across the models from like iPhone 12 to iPhone 16, all look like the same. But the moment you enter into their store, or for a customer service, the kind of service you get, like I have mentioned recently in this discussion, that the kind of service I got from the MX is class apart. That will push you to use that product, that will push you to recommend that product. And if you go to any other mobile company or any other, like you have mentioned about HTC, if you go to, I'll not name the company, of course, but if you go to the company and they have just one store in the complete eastern region or the western region or whatever it is, or in a city, they have one store where they do not have any batteries, they do not have any displays in the stock, and you are out there with a problem. So that's really a bad experience, and probably customer would never take that brand again.
I
Yeah.
have a slight different views from Abhishek. So there are certain products who are no, no, who are not dependent on customer experience, right? For example, a brand like iPhone, right? Now, if you get a bad service in X store in anywhere, will you not buy iPhone? Yes, we will buy because there are certain brand who sell community, like Royal Enfield, like
I,
iPhone.
no, I
Yeah,
agree what you are saying. I agree.
yeah.
I got your
It's
point, what you are saying.
yes,
So sometimes it depends upon product to product.
yeah,
Yeah.
Of
yeah,
course,
Yeah.
I feel, even if you do
yeah,
not have that kind of stuff in stock, like a
yeah,
display or a battery or whatever
yeah, yeah.
problem customer has
Absolutely.
come up with, it depends upon the personnel also, whosoever is attending the client. I
Yeah.
had a
Absolutely.
very different experience with Lenovo recently,
Mhm.
where I visited the Lenovo service center in one city, and the next day I visited the same Lenovo service center in another city. The experience was completely different.
Mhm.
In city one, I was being told that battery is not in the stock, and there was some problem with my laptop, and they said it'll take 3 months for your battery to get delivered. While in the other city, the person told me the same thing. He said the same thing, exactly the same thing. But the way he has explained it, and he has offered me a standby laptop if I would like to leave my device there, experience was very, very different. So I
In
immediately made up my
this
mind that, okay, this is the service center. I'll come again and I'll get the job done from this guy.
Yeah.
in this type of scenario, brand might not lose you, but certain stores, because they are also a revenue making
Absolutely.
model, right? So certain stores may lose some revenue. However, brand is making money because you buy it from
Absolutely.
anywhere, it's going to brand.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but a particular region or particular area manager may lose some out revenue out of you.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, when it comes about rethinking customer friction, I have another perspective, and that is many organizations assume that, they know that what customers want. But I'll tell you, the friction actually it hides within the plain sight. I mean, there are a lot of things that that most of the time happens wherein people are not focusing on small design flaws that is there in the system, existing within the system, which is actually creating that frustration within the customers. So there is a saying, and I'm going to read that saying. I've just opened it while Soumitra and Abhishek were discussing, and that is that friction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent delay that erodes trust one day at a time. So I strongly believe in this saying, and I feel that regular checks and audits are something that that organizations should keep in place. Looking at the small things, just don't have this impression in your mind that everything is going fine. Sometimes there are small things which are going here and there that is creating a lot of frustration within your customers, and you're losing your loyal customers as a flip side because of this overlook and because of this reason. So that is one message that I would like to convey to the audience over
You
here.
mean regular communication and a courtesy call to the customer would make the difference?
Also, I'm talking about the system checks. I'm talking about the system checks, because what happens is that, I'll tell you, we were talking about cross-functional collaboration, right? So there is one extremely important team in each and every organization, which is the sales team. Now they go out and communicate stuff. What are the stuff that they are communicating? They are communicating the stuff which is already inbuilt in our processes, knowing that fine, whatever I'm communicating is how exactly things are going at the back end. But what happens is, because of certain system glitch, the communication which your sales personnel is making in front of the customer is going against him, because there is some problem which is going on at the back end which has been overlooked by the organization. So such small things can create friction within the customers, is what I feel. So a regular check-in is something that we should always do, because all of us today are dependent or leveraging systems heavily as far as our service industry is concerned. So that's why I feel that a regular checks in your systems as well plays a very important part if you want to retain your customers, and if you want to ensure that your organization's name is not, if you don't want your organization's name to go in another way. So that's what it is.
Okay.
And that's where there is one more exercise which we can perform, that is, in a technical term it is called poka-yoke, that is an error proofing, right? So this exercise will lead you that whenever there will be any error, there will be a warning to you, right? So in a very technical term, in a car, right, whenever a fuel level goes down, there is a warning. So that is poka-yoke. So in our customer experience processes also, we can implement this type of warning methods, right?
Okay.
Whenever there is certain lower level of CSAT or lower level of high number of ticketing system or certain things, there are many things where you can apply this tools and get the error identification before it goes out of hand.
VOC Insights is the classic example. While
Yes,
tracking
yes,
customer
yes.
sentiments, you can definitely understand this. What
Yes.
Soumitra is talking about. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nikhil, you want to add anything to it? Nikhil?
I'll touch upon the softer aspect of frictionless and the delivery side of it.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody has already covered what happens afterwards. I would rather cover what should happen even before.
Yeah.
So I think, see, the care element is very important. Now, who owns the care element in any company, right? Is it only customer service department, or is it only the product teams? Because finally, unless there is a DNA inbuilt in every company's culture that, okay, come what may, it should be simple, right? I mean, keep the product simple, keep the service even simpler. Now, if that is the ownership of every individual in the company, trust me, people will try to build features, products, keeping in mind how would they feel while using the same product, right?
Mhm.
They don't want to go through so many steps just to get help. They don't want to go through so many steps just to make a transaction. So that has to be embedded into the DNA of the company. And it comes from top to bottom. And that is where the first frictionless experience starts.
Okay.
Because then all the things automatically start aligning to the ethos of the company, which is providing frictionless support and providing frictionless product in the first place itself, so that support is rarely needed. So that's
Okay.
where the first element of frictionless
Okay.
thing comes into picture.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, lot of good points about that one. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Abhishek, anything? Otherwise, we'll
I think most of the points have been covered, and um, I
yeah.
would not say that I was not expecting this kind of discussion, but it was very rich discussion what we had today, and a lot of eye-opening things were there, and people coming from the different industries have different kind of experiences, right?
Yeah.
From the airline to Amazon and BFSI.
Mm.
So it's good to know what's going on and how you can improve your customer experience always, because that's the only thing in today's world.
Yeah.
Even if you are buying an apparel or an iPhone or a car or whatever, everything is related to what kind of experience you have
Yeah.
had.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that with that, we are coming to conclude our discussion tonight. Let's audience, if you have questions, please get that ready while I'm going to thank a panelist and then give you a few minutes. Okay, if you can ask or you can even type in the chat box, in the chat, and so Abdul will take it from you and then convey it. Okay. Um, so while they're doing it, thank you so much, our panelists, four of you for taking time and joining us. We have learned a lot of good points today, and in starting from the aircraft where you place the luggage and how it impacts the balance. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we fly all the time, but never think about it, right? So
Mhm.
like that, a lot of good learning today. So thank you so much for that, and so great points, and I want to thank each one of you, and feel free to join us in future. We are looking forward to have more discussions and different topic and everything, and different format also, so please feel free to provide us your support. So we are looking forward all the time. Okay, thank you so much. So audience, any questions so far? Abdul, anything in the chat or anything, or
Yeah, I think we got one question for
okay.
me.
Okay.
Right. So this is Arif who is asking, hi, Mr. Samitra, you talk about proactive support. I have one question for you. Does proactive support invade customer privacy by tracking too much of data? I think no. Because these data are not related to their privacy. This data is related to the product which they are using. For example, if you buy any car, most of the car comes with connected car features, right? So every car is tracking you, right? At what speed, what level you are driving, at what speed you are driving, where are you going?
Yeah.
Every data is with the
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
right? Recently, the brand which I was working with, there is some mishappening with the customer, and customer claims that your car is not safe, and I was driving in a slower speed, and it's impacted a lot. However, when you check the connected car details, he was at a speed of 180 kilometers per hour. And
Mhm.
that protect our brand value, right? A brand image, in fact. When we claim back that, sir, you were at high speed, and at that speed, any five-star car can get damaged. So these are certain things which every brand want to gather certain data and high amount of data, and it is giving the businesses also. For example, a classic example of Geo, right? Geo first launched the telecom, they gathered all the data, and from that they have launched Hotstar plus Geo. They are into retail now, they are going into finance. So they are using the same data for a different kind of business. And I think which is a fair, because we are not peeping into your privacy in your personal life. It's only the data you are using, the product you are using about that.
Yeah.
I would like to answer the second question. Sorry,
Yeah,
so
please.
you wanted to say something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
So Anupama is asking that does focusing on making customer feel heard distract from actually solving their problems? So I would like to make a correction here. If customer is feeling heard, that means that you are listening to their problem and you swing into the action. It's not just listening to them. So when you actually swing into the action, that means you are solving the problem. You have started solving the problem. It may take maybe a couple of hours or an hour or two to solve the actual problem. But being heard means that you are listening to the problem and you are swinging into the action at the same time.
Okay.
Hi, I'm sorry if I'm not taking your name correctly. It's Kast Viladurai. Thank you so much for appreciating what I said. Now I'll just read out your question that I liked how you backed customer support over bot, but AI is a part of our life now. How AI can help agents rather than replacing them? Okay. So Cast, my answer goes like this, that AI isn't here to replace agents. I mentioned it in between our conversation as well. It's here to amplify them. This is something that we need to understand, that it is elevating our life. It is not replacing us as an agents. So how it is elevating our life? Now, that's the question that you can ask me. So my answer to that would be that it is elevating your life by handling the routine tasks. It is an assistant. If I have to put it in a nutshell, then it is an assistant to you. So it is offering you real-time suggestions. It is analyzing your customer sentiments. I talked about VOC insights as well. So while the agent, as in if I consider Cast as my agent, while Cast can focus on being empathetic, resolving complex issues, and building trust within our customers, the tool such as AI, what it will do is it will just support you and amplify your journey. I hope that answers your question, Cast.
Yeah.
Adding to Shreya's point, there is a solution called Smart Agent Assist, where while you are in call, that AI tool will tell you what you should ask next to the customer, analyzing the entire conversation and the customer data.
So Salesforce Agentforce has
Yeah.
done that. Salesforce Agent. So what it does is that, there's a screen on the left-hand side. There's a pop-up window on the left-hand side of your screen while you're interacting with your customers. What it will do is it will hear your customers. It will give you a auto-created answer on the left-hand side of your screen. And what you can do is that you can refer those points. Like, for example, right now I'm referring to your question. So to say, just giving you an example, I'm referring to the points, okay, whatever, the agent has given me, and accordingly, I am articulating my answer and delivering to the customer. So what it is doing is that, again, like I said, it is elevating your journey, but is it speaking on your behalf? No, the answer is no. You are the one who is giving that personal touch to the customer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Agree. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. And we are like 7 minutes over the hour. I guess it's been a great discussion overall, and a lot of good questions, and good participation from the participants also. So thanks so much, panelists, one more time. Looking forward to talk to you all in different topic in near future. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. See you all soon.
Likewise,
Thank you.
Uttaman. Thank you for
Likewise.
arranging this. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Uttaman, for
everyone.
providing this opportunity.
Yeah.
It was really great to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Good.